देख पाएंगे अभी।
Take a picture?
या
This is the library. This is what's
Yeah.
most famous here.
या
Yeah.
old.
First time. 第一次。Yeah, 第一次。University. Yeah, never been here. Oh.
Yeah. Get the library. That's the one that's most famous.
But there's like a white thing right in
Yeah, I know. But you can probably go up there. Go up there to the statue. Go up to the statue. Hurry up though. You want me to take the picture?
बहुत पुरानी लाइब्रेरी है, ऐतिहासिक जगह है। 100 साल पहले डॉक्टर अंबेडकर ने यहीं पर पीएचडी किया था। बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक। बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स निकले हैं, रघुराम राजन और तमाम लोग यहाँ से पढ़ के निकले हैं। कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी। आइए आज आपको घुमाते हैं, कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी का टूर कराते हैं। तो कोशिश करूँगा मेरी बैटरी जब तक रहेगी, नेटवर्क जब तक चलता रहेगा। ठीक से देख पा रहे हैं आप लोग? थोड़ा कंफर्म कर दीजिएगा जैसे जैसे लोग जुड़ते जा रहे हैं। नमस्कार भैया, जो लोग जुड़ते जा रहे हैं कंफर्म करते जाइए, क्वालिटी ठीक लग रही है आपको? कोलंबिया यूनिवर्सिटी।
We're going to start off right over here. But just to start off, if you look down to 114th, 2 blocks down, and then if you look over to 120th, 4 blocks up, that's the entirety of the main area of Columbia. That's the entirety.
You know.
So I know on the other students, those are torn out. Schools like that are the exact opposite. You can walk for 2 hours in one direction, and you're not going to see half of the area. Columbia, everything is right on top of it. And so there's advantages, there's benefits to that. One thing is that I learned up in the state, and stop right in the middle of the hill.
There's also like a really good And in North Carolina, is where I was from. There's also this university called Duke University.
Part of it, yeah.
It's got a good climate.
So is that one minute?
Yeah, I think so. Probably gonna find it.
What's your first
Like medical school.
It's over. It's over.
Can everybody hear me? Yes, sir. This is the most iconic part of Columbia and just about the whole campus. We have two buildings. We have this is Low Library, and that is Butler Library. Low Library used to be the main library of Columbia, but now there are no books inside. It is only used for admissions, for office space, and for a lot of different conferences. There's a beautiful area right in the middle, but that is where everybody pulls all-nighters, studies, and there's all 9 other libraries on Columbia's campus. So I told you, all it goes is from right over there to right over there. There are 9 libraries here. That is by far the biggest and where most people study, but there's also a few other libraries we're going to take a look at. We're going up there to Alma Mater, the statue. That is one of the most iconic parts of Columbia. We're going to take a photo all together. One will be just with scholars, and then we'll do one with all the families, because we don't have a photo with everybody quite yet. Yeah, I'll get in the photo. You'll also see, just so you know, 5 undergraduate dorms around you. So on your first year, everybody does not just live on campus, they live here. You'll see that building right in the corner, that's John Jay Hall. That was mostly singles. So Columbia's a little weird, where about half of the freshman population live by themselves and half live with a roommate. Hall right over there, the other tall building, that is also a freshman dorm. That is all doubles and suite. And so you do have a choice whether you want to live by yourself or with somebody else. But with those two, beginning with right over there, you have I graduated 2 years ago. That's what anybody who doesn't like talking goes. I was not over there. But then the wall like over there, those 4 make up the freshman dorms, so you live right on campus. You are guaranteed housing all 4 years at Columbia, but you're like, especially your junior year, you might be a few blocks. But the furthest dorm is 106. And there's only one down there, but the vast majority of them are between 1/3 and 120th. Also at 120, 113 is Tom's Diner, which if you've ever seen Seinfeld, is the restaurant that they always go to in Seinfeld. But you'll also notice all of these they are usually not. That's here because they just had graduation, and there's still some remnants of that, with like journalism schools having a conference, business schools having something for families, so they leave them up, but usually those are not here. The area that you'll see all the time here are usually grass fields, where you'll see hundreds of students there at just about all times, lying around, reading, playing frisbee or whatnot. They'll all be right over there usually.
न्यूयॉर्क में है ये, न्यूयॉर्क में.
And also notice there's almost nobody on campus. This is probably the most empty you'll ever see it, because classes just finished. We haven't really gotten into their summer classes, and it's an overcast Saturday in the morning. So usually you'll see this area
न्यूयॉर्क
with
में.
definitely seen that. So we'll head right up here and we'll take a few photos before continuing.
Everybody's sleeping now, and they're complaining that he's screaming.
Saturday morning, right?
They're gonna call the police. Very energetic guy, huh? Full of stamina.
Yes.
I like those names. Virgil.
You would volunteer for fucking your photos.
Everybody in and we'll take another photo. That's okay, just dollars.
Adelante, hija. Vos adelante. Anda adelante, vos. Vamos a ver, aquí se salgo yo. Go to the back. Sorry. ¿Usted también? Aquí.
Oh, no, you're smaller. You go to the back. I'm tall. I'll go to the back.
छोटे बच्चों से बात कीजिए। नहीं, बच्चे तेज हैं आज के। इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें जानने को मिलेगी आपको, बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें रहेंगी। सुनिए, थोड़ा सा जानिए। आपको वहीं बैठे बैठे घुमा रहे हैं हम, देखो। कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में उसमें तो हम लोग नहीं कर पाते हैं, दिक्कत आती है। फिर यहाँ पर आपके लिए अच्छा है। कई जगहों पर ऑडियो वीडियो पिक्चर्स उन सब पे थोड़ा सा वो है, ओपन वाले में ठीक है।
Ahí conmigo te puedes. Dale el teléfono a tu papá que la tenga.
समझना चाहिए, अब इंग्लिश समझ में आनी चाहिए। बोल पाए ना बोल पाए, लेकिन समझना चाहिए। गार्डन भी दिखाते चलते हैं आपको।
I'm going to get some work done here. It's very nice.
आपने रघुराम राजन, डॉक्टर अंबेडकर जैसे लोगों के यूनिवर्सिटी में आए हैं। आज देखिए को दिखा रहे हैं।
What's the best one? Columbia University pencil. Yeah. Okay. I was not. Actually, when I was in high school, World Science Scholarship.
So when did it start?
2018, the first year of World Science. World Science Festival has been going since 2003. So I had gone to a World Science Festival then, but World Science Scholarship started 5 years. All right, this is Amsterdam Bridge. This connects the main part of campus to what's called East Campus. East Campus is pretty small, but you'll notice the building right here is the Columbia Law School. That building right over there is called the International Affairs Building, or SIPA. That's have graduate school programs for economics, for the social sciences, for political science. They also have a lot of like UN conferences over there, so you'll usually see a lot of pretty famous like politicians going in and out of there on a daily basis. There also are some undergraduate. We are going to walk here in a second, and if you look to the right, you'll see a big building called East Campus Dormitory. That's where almost everybody in their senior lives. Most people by their senior year all live together right over there. I should also mention that you're guaranteed housing all 4 years, but if you ever do live off campus after semester, then you aren't guaranteed anymore and you have to reapply. So if you want to stay on campus all 4 years, it's 100% guaranteed, but if ever you leave, it's a little bit harder to come back in. The other thing I want to mention about Columbia specifically, core curriculum, which is kind of the quintessential thing about Columbia. And I know a lot of liberal arts colleges have it that, you pick your area of study, but then you also do classes in a lot of other fields. Columbia is probably one of the prime things where you don't take a couple classes in other fields, but you take a whole slew of the humanities courses and a few in the science, no matter study. So if you come in and you study, for example, myself, I studied economics initially and then some other stuff. I studied economics. You also have to take one course in literature, which is an entire year your freshman year, one course in philosophy, which is your entire year your sophomore year. You have to take 2 classes on other civilizations other than those. You have to take an art history course, a music history course. You have to take a writing course, 2 science courses, including one which is an overview of all the different areas of science, which Brian does teach part of it. As well, let me think if I'm forgetting anything. So you do have to take a you have to do at least 1 semester of PE while you're at Columbia. If you play a sport, that you exempt, but there's all sorts of different areas you could do it in. From fencing is one option, but they also have things walking to more traditional running or playing soccer or anything like that. They do have squash. They have actually a pretty good squash. Yeah.
How many skills? Oh, yeah, the freshman year. How many additions did you take?
Ambitions? So recently they started taking a few more. My year there was 1,500. Columbia is smaller than most league schools, both in terms of the actual space, but then also the number that they take. And so that means that because everybody's on top of each other here, as opposed to being more spread out. Which you have to declare your major until the spring of sophomore year, but you can change your major as much as you want. I ended up changing it 3 times. So you have to declare spring of sophomore year. But the other thing with the core curriculum is some people arrange their schedule so that they take most of that at the front of it. That way that they get that out of the way, and then towards the end, they do more of their major specific requirements, so they give themselves a little bit more time to decide what it is they actually want to study. I'll also say that no matter what major you take, they do have, even if you take the core curriculum plus your major, there is some open space in your schedule. So you still can take other things and end up possibly adding more to it. The other thing I'll say is that there's 2 colleges within Columbia for undergrads. Actually, there's 3. There's also Barnard College, which is our sister college across the street from Broadway. We don't have time to go there today, but that's an all-girls school that's within Columbia University. The co-ed schools in Columbia University are CC, Columbia College, and CEAS, the School of Engineering. So if you're anything like engineering or actually most of the other stuff, physics, chemistry, bio, are all going to be in CC. They're all going to be in the college over there. But most of the engineering / applied and computer science can be in either of them. They're going to be in the engineering school, and they have a little bit different of a core curriculum. They just don't have to take quite as many humanities courses, but they still have to take some. All right, we are going to head down here. We're going to turn left. But if you want to take a look to your right, that's that dorm I was talking to you about. We're going to head out. We're going to see some of the science areas, and then we're going to finish at Cupid Hall to go to the graduation panel. That's the Center for Theoretical Physics. That's also
That's why I was looking for you. Because that actually had a degree in robotics. It's very focused on it. So he's somewhere between mechanical engineering, but he's thinking that was outstanding.
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
नमस्कार भैया, नए लोगों को
Doesn't have anything about university yet. He doesn't have.
You can get into IT.
सुबह का 10 होने वाला है ये। यहाँ तो आपके अब सोच लीजिए 100 साल पहले डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर यहाँ PhD करके गए, आज से 100 साल पहले। अब कितना पुराना एजुकेशन का हिस्ट्री है। अधिकांश बिल्डिंग भी उसी समय की है। आवाज़ आ रही है मेरी आप लोगों को?
The sports fields are all with our Columbia, yeah. It's called Baker Field. It's at 217. So it's 100 blocks up from where we are right now. It's where Washington Heights is. If you've ever seen the play in the Heights from Lin-Man Miranda, that's where it is. It's where like that is.
So we're together.
To get to
I don't know.
15 to 20
Yeah.
not too good. And then also the subway from here to like Times Square takes about 15. They do. That's actually good. All right. So when you're looking around here, these three actually are the buildings right over here are all classroom buildings. So if you come to Columbia, you 100% with a lot of courses in Sugarhorn. Sugarhorn is also where Brian teaches. So there's a few huge lecture halls right now that can contain like 300, 400 people. They're mostly situated around us. But then there's also a few that are thousands. And those are only for a few select classes. One of them is the course I was telling you that takes you of all of science. That you'll have 2,000 people in that course because it's just about undergraduate and then a couple. But the way that most courses are not like that. Most courses have somewhere between 30 to, at most, if it's a picture, like 250. But you'll also be in a course like that in smaller, what's called discussion groups. Discussion groups will meet independently of the lecture. You'll have a separate professor who will sit down and you'll meet usually one time and then have a lecture one time or maybe 2 times. So even when you're in a lecture that's super huge, you'll also have time with, as I was walking here, I have to mention, Columbia as an Ivy League school does not give any sort of merit scholarships or athletic scholarships. The only thing that they do is give out financial aid. They have great financial aid. So if you see the price, Columbia University is the most expensive school in the world. $72,000 a year. Maybe it's even more right now. Vast majority of people at Columbia do not pay that, and that's similarly to most Ivies. So I would say that if that 72,000, you say there's no way I'm going to come, definitely I would still apply and then apply for financial aid and see how much you get. Usually it's pretty generous here. The one other thing Luke had reminded me of that's a little bit weird about Columbia is that we have a swimming requirement. At some point during your 4 years, you have to take a couple laps around the pool and prove that you could swim in order to graduate. Every student has to do it, no exception. Over COVID, they had to take a Zoom course about swimming. It's horrible. We're going to head over here, and then we're going to head a little bit towards Pupin to meet the graduates.
We should dance it. So your brother didn't get it?
My brother didn't get it. You get a t-shirt? Yeah. Oh, where? Oh, this one. Yeah, I get a small. But I think I took stuff.
I took the last thing, so.
This guy. This guy threw a rock. That's here.
Been here once.
I like jumped so much that my phone fell straight out of my head.
What? Your phone fell straight out of your
phone. Oh, the phone. Look at your phone. Like kaboom. Phone is kaboom. The red area is lava. That's the game we are playing. There's a lot of red. My cousin's favorite game is the floor is lava, and usually I hate that game. But when it isn't like the whole floor, I actually enjoy
All right,
that
so
game.
just so everybody knows,
Like only the
that
rest.
building over there where you'll see the bridge connecting, and that's Pupin Hall. That's
I
where we're
just
going to
hope
be
the
going in
bridge
just a
isn't
second
red.
for the panel. That's
Yeah,
also
that's
where the theoretical physics center is. We also have a lot of labs in chemistry and biology there as well. What you'll see here, this back behind me is the mathematics building. That's, if any of you went here, would probably have a lot of courses back there. And this right here is Havemeyer Hall. Havemeyer Hall is the most filmed building on any college campus in the world. They also have one room in there, Havemeyer 301. Havemeyer 301, if you've ever seen Spider-Man, it's where Spider-Man gets bit and becomes Spider-Man. That was there. NCIS was filmed there, Ghostbusters was filmed there, and more than any other college campus in the world, that is where most producers will go if they want to film. So while you're at college, sometimes they'll be closed because there are filming some. But they also have huge lectures in Orgo is over there. They have data structures in Java. They have a few big ones because it is a big hall. You'll notice right over there, a little bit more uptown in the name. No library in that building. So if you guys want to stay here for just a second and take a few photos quickly, we're going to be walking right up to Pupin Hall to meet the graduate students in 8 minutes. Okay? So we'll take 2 minutes if you want to take a photo at the lion or anything around here, and then we'll head right up. Good one, man. No, I think
You can take 5 seconds. But if you when it's moved like this, you don't need 5 seconds. It's where you're going this way. With 5 seconds.
Oh no.
Oh, you did? Just so you guys know, this right here is the gym. It's all underground. You'll notice that Columbia, because they don't have a lot of space, builds up and they build down. So it's less spread out, but this goes down 4 floors down. The fencing room is on the bottom floor of the 4th floor of the basement, but all of the gym for all undergrads that is open to everybody is from the 4th to the 1st floor.
Now I'm
Don't bump into anyone with red clothes.
Oh no, red. Wait, how are we gonna have this? We're gonna more island you have. Okay, and I am on this here. You can see the MPPSC, the cutoff.
Programs here as well. And the last thing I just wanted to mention, and I'm sure that you can I was not the most social person. I was very busy with classes, I was very busy with fencing, I was very busy doing a lot of different things. And I did not prioritize socialization with many people.
It's true.
When I got to Columbia, my first week, I decided I was going to meet every single person I met. And I talked to literally every person. And it was a little awkward, I just forced myself to do it. And it ended up helping me enormously over my next 4 years. For a number of reasons. For the next 4 years, even though I didn't. Because, yeah, you have friends. Everybody's looking for friends their first week. A lot of people are looking for friends their second week. Their 11th week, nobody's really looking for friends. They happen to have to them. So I would say my biggest piece of advice is even if you're a little bit shy, you might not necessarily want to go and reach out, you might be a little bit tired. For your first week, meet as many people as you can. One, it's going to give you friends, and it's going to be a much more enjoyable experience for your whole 4 years. Two, some classes are really hard, and they have some really hard problem sets. And it helps to walk into every single class and say, I know 27 people here, and when I need some help, I know exactly who to go to, I know who to work with. That's also going to help you out. And So the other thing is that even now that I've graduated, I walk around New York and I run into people I know at Columbia, and I ask what they're doing, I get together with them, and they always help out. So I would say that in high school, I sometimes saw this, okay, if I'm spending time with my friends, I'm not doing the things that are going to help me and benefit me the most, both immediately and down in my career. I think that's the opposite case in college. I think that it's as important as everything else you do to make sure you meet as many people as possible, especially as you're at a school like this, and everybody at the school is doing incredible things, just like in this program, and there are people you're definitely going to probably end up working with, there are people who you're going to want to work with as well, there are people who are going to help you out, and also it's just going to be a lot more fun for your whole career to have that. So my biggest piece of advice, if anything, when you get to college, meet as many people as you can. All right, we're going to head right in here. We're going to head down the stairs to room 301.
This is red. Which one?
Anywhere you want in the hall, just not that first row. And we'll get started in just a second. Not that first row. Yeah. Just not the first row. Most of them are right now. We're going to talk. And I think all of them might be working right now. A couple more are supposed to be on the way. I'm mostly going to give it to you guys to ask questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm just going to have them introduce themselves. Their names. You can thank you. And then we have only about 40 minutes left to head out, so I'm trying to